What up? What up? Welcome to the Ryan O'Toole Podcast. What the fuck's today's date? May 15th. All right, we're halfway through the month of May. Welcome to the podcast. Boston Celtics take Game 5 last night. Okay, I watched it on the Amtrak train before I arrived in mi casa. Okay, I arrived in mi casa. What did I think about? First off, let's touch on the obvious. I haven't been here after Game 4. The first game, the Knicks actually played good this entire series. Make no mistake about it, the biggest thing that's going to come out of this series, at least from a Celtics fan's perspective, and even an NBA perspective, is the Jason Tatum injury, all right? Because it's probably going to cost him next season. That was the first, when this series ends, okay, when this series ends, make no mistake, if the Boston Celtics lose this series, the biggest thing they're going to come back to is they lost two 20-point leads at home the first two games of this series. Make no mistake. What did I think of last night? Okay, Kornet has a monster game. All right, everyone's already, I saw how many people posted their status last night of that picture of Kornet and then in like the shadow of Bill Russell. I've been saying Kornet should have been playing more this entire series since Porzingis is just whacked out. He's not himself. He was saying last night he couldn't breathe. All right, Porzingis, is he repping for George Floyd? I don't know. Is that a bad joke to make? But he has some respiratory issue, okay? He said he couldn't breathe. Kornet's good. I said this the other day on the podcast. When they put Kornet in foul trouble in game 1 or 2? Can't remember. One of the early games in Boston, fouling Mitchell Robinson. Again, I'm all for fouling Mitchell Robinson, okay? I'm all for the hacker Mitchell Robinson technique. But it shouldn't have been Kornet who was doing it. They should have just brought, someone off Hauser to do it or something. I know Hauser was hurt, and he wouldn't have been able to get back on offense, but it shouldn't have been Kornet. That's how I felt about that. How did I feel about that game last night? I mean, listen, the NBA wasn't going to let this thing go 5 games, okay? Not saying the Celtics didn't deserve to win, but is it any coincidence a Boston-New York series, the star player of the series, Jalen Brunson, fouls out with, 9 minutes to go? Okay, you knew this thing wasn't ending last night. That being said, I hope the Celtics could force, I really hope they could force Game 7 tomorrow night in New York. They'll be at Madison Square Garden. What time's that game on tomorrow night? I'm going to check on the telephone right now. If you're listening on audio, we're on YouTube right now. I'm finally recording this thing, okay? It's probably going to work. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. I already feel different being in front of the camera. I feel a little restricted. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, 8 o'clock, the only game tomorrow night, ESPN. Do I feel a little restricted? Yeah, because I usually don't stand here in my apartment unless I'm doing these pull-ups you watch me doing. Usually I'm pacing around my apartment doing this podcast. All right, I'm trying not to trip over my Wi-Fi router. All right, I'm in the stew. All right, this is the stew. My landlords are trying to yank me out. You want me out? I'm not leaving. All right, maybe they'll hear me. I think they're downstairs. Other than that, the long-term ramifications for the Celtics with the Tatum injury, dude. I was so mad. First off, you go back to Game 4. Again, the first game, they scored 39 points, the Celtics, in the first quarter of Game 4 in New York the other night. Okay? And that was really the only good quarter they had. It was Jason Tatum and Derek White, and then Tatum kept playing great. Okay? He obviously ruptures his Achilles. White kind of fell off. No one else really played good for the Celtics, and the Knicks played a good game. Got to tip your cap to them, but make no mistake about it. Through the first 5 games of this series, the Knicks really have only played one good game, and they're up 3-2. They went up 3-1, Make no mistake about it. The Celtics won. They were up 30 points in Game 3. They were up 20 points both times in Games 1 and 2. And that's why they're behind in this series. Coaching. That's really what this series comes down to, coaching. Make no mistake about it. So we got Game 6 tomorrow night in New York, 8 o'clock. I don't know. People are going to be acting like morons. I watched the game last night on the Amtrak train, Boston to New York. All right, I was really hoping, obviously I was hoping the Celtics win because I love the Celtics, but I also didn't want to get caught up in all that side talk nonsense that goes on 7th and 8th Avenue after every game. And I was glad when I got back, I got back, an hour after the game, people were clearing out of the streets. So, yeah, I watched it on the Amtrak. How about the Amtrak people? All right, the Amtrak people, it was a New York crew. Okay, usually you can tell where people are from on Amtrak. That's one great thing about Amtrak, all right? They're always, like, represented and stuff. You know, I get the train from South Station in Boston. It was going down to Newport News, Virginia, all right, home of Michael Vick. That's the only reason I probably know about Newport News. And, I don't know, going into the third or fourth quarter, they come on to tell us, I don't know, one of the stops that's coming up, and he goes, and he's on the microphone so the whole train can hear, the Knicks are going to come back, go New York, go, blah, 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 you know what I mean? I was just like, oh, all right. Of course, I let out an audible, I don't know, said something, but luckily the Celtics held on, and Kornet played great. Very happy, very happy. Let's just hope, it's a lot, if we're going to lose, I mean, let's face it, best case scenario, Tatum's out for the majority of next season, if he even plays next season. It's a crazy part about, sports, but the Celtics in general right now is, you lose your star player, you just win a championship. The Celtics win a championship last year, and listen, I'm not making excuses at all or anything for the Celtics, but the Celtics win a championship last year. They play till, the finals practically gets over in July nowadays. Holiday, White, and Tatum go to the Olympics, and then like a month later, they're over in like Abu Dhabi and Dubai playing these international games. So that's part of it. That's part of sports, and now we have a whole new ownership. And who knows? Who knows what the future of this team holds, Obviously, everyone's talking about all that apron crap. I'm not, because I just want to enjoy this team. I'll think about that when free agency starts. Who knows what they're going to do? What are you even going to base it off of? Again, this is a new ownership group. Of course, they're going to have to get rid of some people. Who knows? Who's it going to be? Porzingis, Holiday? As great as those two guys are, Celtics legends in my book because they came here and won a championship. They aged this year, and it showed. Holiday, it really showed. He just doesn't look the same as he did. But you know what? This is his 14th or 15th year in the league. You can't expect them to look like it's 2014 every year, So we'll see. I listen to, Boston Sports Radio so bad. I'm driving the other day, and I was listening to one of the propaganda networks. I'm not even going to mention their name. And they're talking about how the Porzingis trade didn't work out. Saying the Porzingis trade didn't work. I go, dude, they won a championship. All right, even if they get stuck with Porzingis for 4 years, which, let's face it, I think he's only under contract for next year. It did work out. They won a championship. They brought those guys in here to win a championship. And this series isn't over. All right, I'm going to tell you that right now, okay? Do I like the Celtics' chances? Not exactly. They blew 2 terrible leads, but maybe they rally behind it and get some help from the league and push this thing to 7. That would be great, wouldn't it? Put all the pressure back on the Knicks, We still got to see Timothy Chalamet and, Kylie Jenner at the game tomorrow. It's like, oh, my God. It's like such a production with the Knicks where it's like they just got to show, like, all the celebrities and stuff. I'm like, I can't. Once I get invited to these games, I'm going to be blackout drunk wearing a Celtics jersey. Am I going to get invited? Yeah, one day. Other than that, what's going on? What's going on? Patriots schedule. Oh, no. We got to go right to the other team playing in Boston right now. Rafael Devers. I haven't touched this yet. Who the hell does Rafael Devers think he is refusing to play first base? First off, this is on the Red Sox and Devers. All right? Make no mistake about it. First off, Rafael Devers, you should take your ass to first base. Take him to first base, okay? The ownership, the team should come in here and just tell him, dude, you're playing first. We're paying you $330 million, whatever you got. Go to first base. But you know what? They entertain this nonsense with this guy all spring. They bring in Alex Bregman, okay? Gold Glove third baseman. I think a multiple-time defensive Gold Glove, top-tier defensive third baseman. Devers is throwing a tantrum. I don't want to move, yada, yada. Meanwhile, Devers led the league in errors at third 7 years in a row. All right? Either 7 or 8 years in a row, the guy led the league in errors. Atrocious defensively. He can hit. Yeah, I'll give him that, okay? He can hit, But defensively, he's a liability out there. They move him to DH, fine, okay? Unfortunately, Cassis goes down. His knee explodes running to first base, okay? And now they need someone to step up for the good of the team to go there and play first base, okay? The team's a game under 500, okay? All this optimism we heard from the Red Sox all year, and it's just been drama once again with the Red Sox. So what does Devers say? He says, I'm not moving. I'm going to play every position. Dude, no one was planning on your first baseman to blow his knee out, all right? Get over there and play first. Be a team player for once, Rafael Devers. How about be a team player for once? But this falls on the Red Sox as well because they appease this guy. They're afraid of, calling him out. What happened to the time? Remember growing up where general managers and managers would just call players out publicly? They're so afraid of this guy. They're afraid of Devers throwing a tantrum. They tiptoed around him in spring. They tiptoed around him all spring about the whole third baseman thing. They should have told him after last season, even before they signed Bregman, we're going out and get a defensive third baseman. You're leading the league in errors every single year. You're done. You're moving. And they should have had him playing first because this thing, the Red Sox had no backup plan at first base. Tristan Casas wasn't playing that good. Tristan Casas, what was Casas? Let's go look at Casas' he played, a month and a half this season? Let's look at Casas' stats this year. Tristan Casas, 2025, he was batting 182 with 3 home runs and 11 RBIs. Okay? That's what he was batting in 2025. Let me just make sure I have that right, because that's atrocious, 182. Yeah, 182. There's no backup plan at first base. Were they going to have a guy who wasn't even batting 200 up until mid-May? I guess a little early May, not playing first. There's no backup plan there. They should have had Devers. And another thing, too, Casas, he wasn't exactly Cal Ripken and Iron Man going into this season. All right, but the Red Sox say, Casas is going to be our guy. No backup plan whatsoever. Great thinking, Breslow. Okay, great thinking not to go out there and get another first baseman. They should have had Devers taking grounders at first all spring. They need to go back to telling these guys what to do. Give me a break with Devers. Give me a break. And the whole crowd, the Red Sox have thrown propaganda out more than, the Democratic Republic of China. It's the Democratic Republic of Nesson. That's what that television network is. You've heard it since Chaim Bloom. Always the Red Sox have been propaganda. Oh, well, they got to get the value. He needs to play both sides. He has to play defense because of what his contract is, all that, okay? He should have just been focusing on hitting, okay? But they need a guy to go out now and play first. They have no first baseman here. Meanwhile, Roman Anthony's sitting in the minors right now, just absolutely mashing, but he can't come in right now. All right, they can't even just make him a DH because Devers is clogging up the DH spot. And make no mistake, Rafael Devers, overweight, is clogging up the DH spot. It's ridiculous they don't tell this guy to go to first base. Listen, I'm not saying he has to go out there and win a gold glove every year, but you get paid $31 million a year. Maybe do what's best for the team, Rafael Devers. But no one on that team wants to hold him accountable. Nobody on the Red Sox wants to hold him accountable. Meanwhile, sitting over here, they got Vaughn Grissom. By the way, we're going to see Chris Sale come in tomorrow night, Cy Young Award winner. All right, come in, pitch great. Okay, we're going to see a guy come in, pitch great. We got Vaughn Grissom in exchange. They don't have anyone at first base. Meanwhile, Devers is sitting there overweight. Okay, he's hitting. I'll give him that. He's hitting, But, come on. Come on. It's ridiculous. We're in mid-May right now. And we just have these issues. The biggest stories has been Devers in the offseason complaining about not playing third when he never looked like he put any effort in to get better at third base. And then now he won't play first base when it's a different situation now. It's different because someone needs to step up, regardless of how Breslow and the front office mismanaged this. Regardless of how they mismanaged it. Someone needs to step up and get in there. And you have Roman Anthony sitting down in where are they playing? Fucking Worcester right now, breaking the baseball in half. It's absolutely ridiculous with the Red Sox. And they sell you this shit all offseason. Oh, this is a different year. There's optimism coming in. Oh, they're going to be a threat. The American League's wide open. Yeah, well, you're under 500 right now in mid-May, okay? Now, I'm not saying things can't change, but it's again, this is the thing about Rafael Devers, okay? He's a good hitter, okay? He's a good hitter. I wouldn't say he's a great hitter. By no means, all right? I heard people comparing him to Manny Ramirez this week. because he's throwing a tantrum. Make no mistake about it. Manny Ramirez was 3 times the player Rafael Devers was. And he was another one who was in just more crazy and more of a liar, just as much. At least Manny, you could hide in left field at times, okay? And no way am I making excuses for Manny Ramirez, the decision-making or any of the nonsense that happened defensively with him. Everyone likes laughing about it now. Oh, yeah, Manny cut off whatever. Yeah, well, Manny was batting .330 every year, okay? Manny Ramirez is having monster years. Rafael Devers, again, very good hitter. He's going to hit for power. He's not going to win a batting title, okay? What's he? I think he's hit 300 one time in his career. All right, I'm not knocking. I'm not saying you got to hit 320, 45. But this is the thing when you have a guy, this is your best player. Okay, you have a guy who, I don't know, what's he bat around? 270 to 280 every year? Has power numbers. This is your best player. You can only go so far when your best player is that, okay? And you better hope your team's super, super, super deep, okay? Or you need to get a new best player. It's ridiculous with Devers. It's absolutely ridiculous. I just can't believe they listen to this crap from him. You know, I really can't. I really can't believe they listen to this crap with him. Oh, my God, dude. You know, you listen to people, it's like, I know everyone's and it goes back. It goes back. They chose Devers over Betts. They chose Devers over Mookie Betts. They chose, that's what it came down to. There was one guy they were going to give $350 million to, and who did they do it to? The overweight third baseman, who's no longer a third baseman. Meanwhile, a guy who's MVP caliber player every single year has won 2 World Series since he left here and will play any position. Okay, Mookie Betts would play catcher if you really needed him to. He'd play catcher if you needed him to. You know, but for whatever reason, the Red Sox had a problem with Mookie Betts. For whatever reason, taking him to arbitration, not wanting to pay him, not committed to him. They signed this guy over him. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, dude. What a disaster it's coming. And let's make no mistake. Rafael Devers, he's going to end up acting up in another couple days. All right, he's going to end up saying, once they should just tell him, you got to play first, dude. You know? They should tell him. Sovereignty, not running in the Preakness, okay? We had a great Kentucky Derby a couple weeks ago. Great race, okay? Sovereignty, all right? Beza. Okay, journalism. All right, those 3 horses I mentioned on my story, by the way, $262 trifecta if you listen to me. Okay, I'm not giving out bets. I'm not telling anyone to do with their money, but $2 trifecta box. Okay, cost $6. All right, I'm out here. $12. All right, I'm out here. Okay, that's what we do. Okay. Oh my God, Sovereignty is skipping the Preakness and he goes right to Saratoga. All right. Which is terrible for horse racing. It's awful for the sport of horse racing. Terrible for the sport of horse racing. You want to know why? Now the Preakness, no one even cares about the Preakness on Saturday. Yeah, I care, okay, because I watch horse racing, all right? Am I going to tune into the Black Eyed Susan? Yes. Am I going to tune into everything going on at Pimlico Friday? Yeah, I am. Okay, I'm going to wake up tomorrow, all right? Whatever time first post is at, 12:30? I'm going to have it on, all right? TVG Kid. All right, or whatever they call it now, FanDuel Network. All right, I'll have it on. NBC, I'll have the whole thing on. Okay? I'll have it on. All right, but they're skipping him for what? To go to the fake-ass Belmont. Let's call it what it is, too. This is the last year, thank God. The Belmont not being a mile and a half. What are they running at? A mile and a 16th again at Saratoga this year? The fake-ass Belmont this year, which is ridiculous, they're not making a mile and a half. I've seen 3-mile steeplechases at Saratoga. All right? The track could be 3 miles, a mile and a half. Skip him there, and everyone, oh, well, it's the well-being of the horse. Bill Mott. No, that's bullshit by Godolphin. Okay, that's a bullshit statement put out by Godolphin. How about this? This is from last week. This is immediately. He was in Saratoga last Tuesday. How about this quote by Bill Mott, a guy I have a tremendous amount of respect for, and I love Bill Mott. He came off the van like a tiger, speaking of Sovereignty, our Kentucky Derby winner. He had good energy for a horse that just ran a race like that. Okay? That was last Tuesday. Oh, yeah? Why wouldn't you ship him to Maryland? Okay? Why wouldn't you ship him to Maryland? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. He sits him there. It's absolutely ridiculous, you know? Oh, my God. Absolutely ridiculous. This is why horse racing doesn't pick up fans. It picks up casual fans in the spring just because they want to gamble. They got FanDuel, DraftKings, all this other stuff now. This is why they don't gain fans, you know? Because the best horses don't run. It's the worst part of the sport. Justify. He wins the Triple Crown. Retired. You know? And I get it. It's like, oh, there's all this money in breeding and stuff. But what's this? He's going to run in the Belmont. You just won the Derby. Why are you skipping the Preakness? You know? Meanwhile, Alvarado gets fined for excessive whipping during the Derby. It's just... I like Sovereignty a lot. I really do. You know, I like Bill Mott. I love Junior Alvarado. I was happy he won a Derby finally. But I think I have no choice but to root against Sovereignty in the Belmont. You know, no choice. No choice. Don't know. I haven't even looked at the Preakness. I'll give something out on the story next week, on Saturday. All right, I'll put something up on the story. I don't know. I guess I'd look for value. I don't like journalism being, he was like 8 to 5 on the morning line. I think you can get better value out there on somebody. Again, because this is pari-mutuel wagering we're talking here. Okay, you got to remember that with horse racing. We're talking about pari-mutuel wagering. What is pari-mutuel wagering, Ryan? That's when you're not betting against the house, you're betting with each other. That means the more people that put on, the books aren't making the odds here. Okay, granted, you can't trust FanDuel and DraftKings. You can't trust these dirtbags. Who knows what they're doing? You know, who knows what they're doing? But you're betting against each other. It's pooled money, okay? That's why a trifecta, it pays different every time. That's why it was $262 for 3 favorites the other day. I don't even understand why people bet long shots in the Derby, any of these big races. The Derby, the Breeders' Cup, the pools are so good. And for Godolphin, okay, Godolphin Racing, who's been a tremendous a powerhouse in racing. You wonder why they just won a Kentucky Derby for the first time in, like, what, 30 years now? Since they've been running, however long they've been around, it's crap like this. All right, make no mistake about it. All right, it's how they approach stuff. Okay, when was last? I mean, Bernardini was a powerhouse, you know, but they're sitting this guy, and Trump was just Trump's in the Middle East right now. Trump should have been over there talking to the Saudi prince, saying, "Hey, you should run Sovereignty in Baltimore at Pimlico." That's what Trump should be talking about over there. I saw him at the Middle East. They go, he's meeting with the leaders of Dubai. I go, yeah, tell him to meet with what's it called? Sovereignty's people. That's what he should be doing over here. But again, it's the Belmonts. He's going to run it. Oh, my God. Does anyone really think that the NBA draft lottery is, like, not rigged? You know? Does anyone think that? You know? Honestly, does anyone think the NBA draft lottery, the Dallas Mavericks, they had, what, a 1.8% chance of getting it after trading Luka Doncic this year? First-round playoff exit, by the way, okay? We talk about this guy like he's, I don't know what, all-time great player, okay? First-round playoff exit this year, just remember that. But they end up getting they're going to get Cooper Flag, a pretty big, draft lottery is big this year. You know, not every year it's big. Wembanyama, obviously, was big a couple years ago. Cooper Flag, it's big this year. You know, you have these years where everyone wants one of these guys, okay? They get it, and it's like, dude, why isn't this on TV? That's what I want to know. Why isn't it why isn't it televised? For all the nonsense people televise in sports, I mean, they just had a primetime television show last night about the NFL schedule release. The schedule release. You already know what teams are playing. You just don't know the days they're playing. And it's all over the place. But we don't have this televised. We got representatives we have 30 companies. All right, make no mistake, 30 teams worth billions of dollars apiece, all in a room with Ernst & Young's right there, one of the big 4 investment companies, banking transaction companies. We don't think any fuckery is going on. We have all these billionaires in a room in Secaucus, New Jersey. No cameras allowed. No one's ever seen anything going on in there, and you expect me to believe there's no nonsense happening? Yeah, right. It's rigged. It is 100% rigged. And I'm listening to all these people hold water for the owners. Who did I see the other day come out? Oh, it's impossible to say. It was Chris Mannix. Oh, it's impossible for them to do it. Going through the process. Put it on TV. Put it on TV. How's that sound? Put the draft lottery on TV. All right, we have morons gambling on when the Patriots are going to play the Bengals next year. Okay? A schedule release. All the nonsense on television and all the nonsense in sports entertainment. Okay? You're telling me, I don't understand why the whole thing's not televised. I don't care if it takes 7 hours. All right? It absolutely should be. Could you gamble on, let's see, NBA draft lottery odds? Could you gamble on this? Gambling. Because if you could gamble on it, it should 100% be televised. No, you can gamble on who the number 1 pick is. I missed it. Oh, yeah. No. You can't. Well, not that I can find. But anyways, it should be on TV. No one trusts this nonsense. Nobody trusts this nonsense. I'm telling you, there was a conspiracy with this. There's a conspiracy with the draft thing, and I'm going to do something to get to the bottom of it, okay? I don't know what. But, yeah, it's ridiculous. Watching the NBA, I've been watching a lot of playoffs. Can we stop calling flagrant fouls on just, like, good, hard plays or even not good? I think a flagrant foul should have to be intentional. Okay, I saw a flagrant foul the other night. Jaylen Brown accidentally gets in the landing spot of Jalen Brunson. Okay, Brunson rolls his ankle. It's unfortunate. Okay, it should be a foul. Totally agree. Flagrant though, come on. What happened to flagrant fouls being it should be intentional with intent. It's flagrant. Okay, it should be flagrant. We're gonna go flagrant definition. I'm typing this in right now. Flagrant definition: conspicuously or obviously offensive. Obviously, okay? That's the dictionary term from Oxford Dictionary. Obviously offensive. How many flagrant fouls are getting called that aren't obviously offensive? Obviously. You're not going to convince me the NBA is not rigged. I'm sorry. You're just not. It's only Tim Donaghy. The more I watch this nonsense, I'm like, why do I even watch it? It's the worst product out there. Obviously offensive. Flagrant. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe Jackson, they'll be eligible for the Hall of Fame in, 5 years, I think. Of course, they waited for Pete Rose to die. Make no mistake about it. Pete Rose, dead, R.I.P. I don't know, when did he die? A couple months ago? Maybe in the fall? I don't know. Pete Rose is dead, and now he's eligible to get in the Hall of Fame in 5 years. He'll obviously probably get in. Whatever. That's baseball for you. That's Major League Baseball. Rob Manfred, the guy who's really, who would you say the worst commissioner is? We got Gary Bettman, Roger Goodell, Adam Silver, and Rob Manfred. The NFL with all these foreign games, I think, is ridiculous. I think the constant how the league and the owners just dominate the Players Association, a lot of that's on the players for choosing poor reps. But they are getting held down by the man. Goodell, what's Goodell done? Soften the league where you can't even hit quarterbacks now. That's pretty ridiculous. A lot of the rule changes, the kickoff stuff I don't like. How you have to say if you're going to onside kick is, that's crazy. Why not say, oh, I'm going to hand it off here. I'm going to do play action. That's ridiculous. Those have been really bad, I think, the last couple years. What else do we got? Gary Bettman in the NHL. At least the NHL, as bad as Gary Bettman is with, how lousy the game is, I'd say, advertised and things like that. At least, the NHL playoffs, those are definitely the best. I don't think there's any doubt about that. So we'll give him that. It's the most exciting. Major League Baseball, I'll give Rob Manfred credit for the pitch clock. But, I mean, just about everything else he's done. Starting players in second base in extra innings. That's kind of lousy. I don't like that. Calling the World Series trophy just a piece of metal. I mean, shows you everything you need to know about that guy. He's a shill. But I don't know. I mean, a lot of people think, the NFL's like Goodell does such a good job because, everyone knows about the game and it's all this nonsense. No, dude. No, I don't care that more people know about it. The actual product of the game sucks. All right? You get these fantasy football morons who think they know everything. Is what it is, okay? You get these fantasy football morons who think they know everything about the game coming in here. Just because more people know about football doesn't mean it's like a better game or a better product. They're totally getting dominated by DraftKings, FanDuel. You want to know why you got to declare kickoffs onside and all that stuff? Make no mistake about it. That's because of live betting, FanDuel, all that stuff. Make no mistake about that. That's what it is. The amount of... They're actually trying to pass a law in New York. You can't see any gambling commercials while games are on. I hope they do. And I've seen less. But maybe that's just because the NBA doesn't advertise. I mean, the NBA, obviously, they're in bed with the gambling companies too. But I haven't noticed as much as when football was on. So I don't know who I would say the worst commissioner is. It's tough to say. I mean, Gary Bettman cost the NHL an entire season in 2003. Roger Goodell has just, they just care about the entertainment. I mean, all these international games, it's like, I don't know. They got to figure, it's just, the players not being able to play on turf. On grass. They're all playing on turf, when I remember Arsenal and Manchester United played a friendly game in New Jersey 2 years ago. A friendly game didn't mean anything. It was a scrimmage for American fans. What'd they do at MetLife Stadium? Pick up the turf and lay down real grass. In the Premier League, their players get what they want. The NFL? No. You're not getting it, all right? Playing on turf, all right? Even though all the players want to play on grass. All the players want to play on grass. All right, listen, that's the podcast, I think. I'm going to put this up on YouTube right now. I don't know what's going on. I'll be at Grizzly Pear. Just go on my Instagram and ask me if you want to, see me do comedy or whatever. I post all my stuff on there. Other than that, I don't know. I'll probably be back here either Sunday night. Yeah, probably Sunday night. Sunday night / Monday morning. I'm going to have this thing up Monday morning. We're going to start recording. I'm going to sit my ass down right now and immediately put this on YouTube. I'll put it on Spotify first. Like, share, subscribe. Tell me what you think I could do to make it better. You guys are the best, and I'll see you bitches later.